much, Madam Chairperson. Chairman, Honourable Minister of Finance, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Abdul Mal Muhit. I want to also recognize the Chair of PPD Board, Honourable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, the Government of India, His Excellency Mr. Gulab Nabi Azad, Honourable Vice Minister, National Population and Family Planning Commission, Government of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Mr. Chen Li, Honourable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and Minister PPD Board, His Excellency Professor AFM Ruhal Haq, all other Honourable Ministers and Vice Ministers here present, Honourable PPD Board members, partner country coordinators as well as development partners, Executive Director, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. First and foremost, I bring you greetings from our President, His Excellency, Sir Professor Alhaji Dr. Yaya Ejije Jammeh, the government, and the Gambian people, including our women, to the Prime Minister and People's Republic of Bangladesh, and of course to the member countries here present of partners, population and development, and of course special thanks also and appreciation particularly go to the government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh and other partner countries for all the support that they've been given over the years and assistance provided, particularly in the organization of this conference. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme of the conference, Evidence for Action, South-South Collaboration for ICPD beyond 2014, is both apt and we'll all agree, timely as well. Of course, we should also agree that this August gathering would all recall that in 1994, the International Conference on Population and Development was quite historic. We'll all agree. It was a landmark event as well. The two previous conferences were marred with skepticism, we would all agree, and misunderstanding, particularly relating to population and development issues. Important paradigm shifts in this conference include the recognition that population is not just about counting of numbers, but rather what to do to improve the quality of life of the people, of course including the empowerment as well as the protection of the rights of women and girls, amongst other priorities. During that Cairo ICPD 1994 conference, which I was privileged to attend, a consensus was reached, of course after a lot of agreements and consultations, on the stance that access to reproductive health and related services, sexual health, as well as family planning, for the young especially, as well as the protection of the rights of women and girls, among others, are all important prerequisites in the attainment of sustainable development for all. The development of women over the years and the young, surely we'll all agree, trickle down to the rest of society. The meeting also further went on to recognize the need to address particularly the high population growth rates, as well as other unfavorable health-related and gender-related demographic indicators, among others. The review of the Cairo ICPD 1994, and its plan of action, of course, which has begun, will identify the challenges as well as the progress and achievements made towards the objectives set out in the plan of action, which gave birth to our partnership in the first instance. The ICPD beyond 2014 will also accord us the unique opportunity, no doubt, to influence the future of our global population and development policies at national, regional, and global levels, among others. Therefore, the expectation of this conference will be a highlight of the successes as well as the challenges within the framework, of course, of South-South cooperation and collaboration in the implementation of both the 1994 ICPD Program of Action as well as the related 1995 Beijing Platform for Action, and of course, the recommendations of ICPD +5, +10, and +15 reviews, and indeed, the overall MDG reviews, among others. I acknowledge the significant achievements that we have made and that have been registered since the birth of this very important PPD partnership. But we continue to also face daunting challenges, no doubt, that have tended to undermine our achievements. We all know globally what is happening in terms of the financial crisis and other related challenges. And therefore, whilst I have no doubt in my mind of the political will of our various governments, however, the availability of enough wherewithal, particularly resources in implementing population-related activities, has always been a problem. To highlight a few achievements since 1994 Cairo Conference, reports do show that globally, fertility levels have indeed declined over the years, mainly due to increasing literacy rates in our various countries and participation of women in the labor force, and of course the increasing use of contraceptives. For example, total fertility rate has fallen from 3.2 children per woman in 1994 to 2.5 in 2010, and of course the population rates have also fallen from 1.5% to 1.2%. However, despite all the achievements we have made, the world population, we should all agree, indeed, has been affected. We would all agree that it is projected, for example, to reach 8 billion in 2024 and 9 billion in 2025. And of course, it had reached 7 billion in 2011. The less developed world, we are also told, which is our own part of the world, of the South, will account for 97% of the future global population growth. Mr. Chairman, therefore, having adopted the Cairo 1994 Program of Action and indeed the 1995 Beijing Platform for Action and its 12 critical areas of concern, the Gambia revised its policies in conformity, of course, and accordingly, to incorporate population and gender issues, which we all agree continue to be recognized as important prerequisites for sustainable development for all. The government of the Gambia, therefore, continues to invest in human, material, as well as financial resources in addressing population and development issues and concerns, which we will all agree have yielded positive results, no doubt. For example, in the 2003 population and housing census, it has been shown that a decline has happened in total fertility rates from 6.01 children per woman to 5.4 during the period of 10 years, 1993 to 2003. Maternal mortality in the Gambia has reduced from 1,050 per 100,000 live births in 1993 to 730 per 100,000 live births in 2000. The infant mortality rate has also reduced from 78 per 1,000 live births in 1990 to 66 per 1,000 live births in 2000. And it is estimated, of course, to have further reduced by 57 per 1,000 live births in 2010. We are also, according to our census and figures, as well as related research, neonatal mortality has also reduced from 42 per 1,000 live births in 1990 to 31 per 1,000 live births in 2010. It is our hope, therefore, that further improvements may have occurred in these rates, only be known, and that will only when the results are in 2010. It is our hope, therefore, that further improvements may have occurred in these rates, and that will only be known when the results of our 2012 Demographic and Health Survey, as well as 2013 census, that is Housing and Population Census, results are available. The Gambia has already achieved the MDG target of universal access and gender parity in lower as well as basic cycles of education. Regarding the rights of women and girls, the Gambia has adopted and ratified a number of national and international instruments that seek to promote gender equity, equality, and the empowerment of women, in line with the 12 Beijing critical areas of concern. These include, but are not, of course, limited to the UN CEDAW, AU Protocol on the Rights of Women, the 1997 Constitution of the Gambia that guarantees the rights of women and girls, the Alternative Dispute Resolution, Legal Aid, the Office of the Ombudsman, and girls' scholarship schemes, all of which go to promote the rights of women and girls. However, other demographic indicators, example HIV/AIDS infection among particularly the younger population, teenage pregnancy, and maternal deaths are believed to have declined over the years as well. But lack of up-to-date and reliable data makes it difficult to prove this, and therefore, as we await the results, as I said earlier on, of the 2012 Demographic and Health Survey, as well as the 2013 census, then we'll get the real figures, the updated ones. The government of the Gambia strongly believes in the principles of universal access to reproductive health and services, of course, including HIV/AIDS, and believes that women have a right to decide freely when to have children and should also be given the means to do so through information, education, and communication. The government of the Gambia continues to demonstrate high political will and commitment in providing health services to all Gambians at affordable prices, and most importantly, of course, the provision of free maternal care for all women and their children, and the provision of adolescent and youth-friendly reproductive health centers as well as related services in the regions. Mr. Chairman, while counting success made in implementing our various development programs, we also as a nation continue to face a number of challenges, which includes, of course, socio-cultural beliefs and related practices, resource inadequacies, and of course the youthfulness of our population. Over 45%, for example, of the Gambian population is below the age of 15 years, and 22% aged between 15 and 24 years. This youthful structure, no doubt, means a high potential, particularly for rapid population growth in the future, as well as a high dependency burden, no doubt, which continues to pose great challenges to sustaining development as it relates to health, education, as well as employment creation, among others. In addition, growth in the job market in the Gambia, as in other partner countries, is not keeping pace with the high turnout of school leavers, and as a result, there is a high unemployment rate among the youth. Nonetheless, the government continues to create the enabling environment, of course with related opportunities for all Gambians to be involved, for example, in the productive sectors of agriculture, as well as the informal sector, among others. As part of its mechanization drive, government has provided over the years related machinery to reduce the drudgery of farmers, including women, and related farm inputs to boost agriculture in the Gambia by eating what we grow and growing what we eat. Mr. Chairman, it is worth noting also that unless the international community and governments fulfill their funding commitments towards achieving population and development issues, the developed countries of the North, in particular, will find it difficult to tackle the challenges posed by our dynamics. And of course, we, the developing countries, are the most affected. Despite all the outlined challenges, the government of the Gambia is still committed to managing its population effectively as well as efficiently in order to accelerate the pace of socio-economic development and ultimately improve the quality of life of all Gambians. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I wish once again to thank the PPD and related partners for organizing the International an Inter-Ministerial Conference on Evidence for Action, South-South collaboration for ICPD beyond 2014. The significance of this meeting, we will all agree, surely cannot be overemphasized, as there are global operational reviews underway on the implementation of the 1994 Cairo ICPD Conference on Population and Development to prepare the agenda for ICPD beyond 2014. PPD has rightly set the tone, no doubt, and indeed the goal of the conference, so as to develop collectively a Southern consensus and political commitment for ICPD beyond 2014 and MDGs beyond 2015. I learned that the outcome of the conference will be a declaration reflecting the views and as well as related recommendations from Southern countries and other stakeholders, which will contribute to as well as lay the necessary foundation for preparations for ICPD beyond 2014 and also MDGs beyond 2015. Whilst wishing you success, and all of us success, of course, in our deliberations, I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to bless our partnership for the attainment of peace and prosperity for our various populations. I thank you very much for your attention, and may God bless this meeting.